low radio frequency signals could be caused by several things. The first thing is a reduced antenna power setting of the wireless access point. And this is something that you can change on most SOHO routers and enterprise wireless access points. The lower the antenna power, the smaller the range of the wireless network. And the reason we do this is so that our wireless connectivity is limited to our office or our building, and so that our wireless signal does not bleed out to other offices and other buildings. We don't want anybody else to connect to our wireless access point. So let's show an example of that on our SOHO router here. We can go to our wireless 5 gigahertz network, go down to advanced, and then you'll see the transmit power. Right now it's set to high, and we had great connectivity. We showed previously we had great connectivity from our AV editor computer, but we can change this. We don't necessarily need this to be on high. We can set it to low and save that, and then we'll reboot the router and then take a look at the AV editor to see how it does. Okay, so we've rebooted the router, and you can see here it's now set to low. And so that went through. I just paused the video while I rebooted. And so let's take a look at our AV editor computer, and we'll go to the status of our Wi-Fi connection. And you can see here we have the same exact speed and signal quality. And I actually restarted this computer while I was rebooting the router and reconnected to the wireless just to make sure. And so signal quality, you would expect it to still be full bars because it's only about 8 or 10 feet from the wireless access point. Even at a low transmission setting, you're still going to go pretty far with an 802.11 AC connection. And so here's our speed as well. So we're in good shape with that. And, you can test it. You can bring your laptop or your mobile device and kind of walk around the perimeter of the building and test different settings. Now with this SOHO router, you can only do, low or medium, middle or high, but on other routers, you can actually change the setting with more configuration ability. You can change the DBM for that. So it can get more in depth with more of an enterprise wireless access point. But in most cases, if you're in a small office or home office, low transmit power is fine, and you should be able to get connectivity all the way through your office and all the way through your house or whatever it might be. So watch for reduced antenna power on the wireless access point. If you have a real big office, you might not be able to connect very well, and you might have a low radio frequency signal. You also want to check if the antennas were connected. They need to be screwed on at the client. And I'll tell you, I've seen this dozens of times where people have installed their own wireless access card and just never put the antennas on. And it didn't work very well. That's what happens. Same thing with the wireless access point. Need to be connected and screwed on properly. You might also have reduced antenna power at the client. Some wireless access cards and adapters have the ability to reduce their antenna power. You would do this with the third-party software, with the software that came with the manufacturer. You wouldn't usually do this in, say, Windows or another operating system. So watch for reduced antenna power at the client side as well. Then watch for whether you're accessing from the perimeter of the wireless network. The lower the radio signal at the WAP, at the WAP, the smaller the network will become. So the perimeter actually gets closer to the wireless access point. So you want to watch what your distance is and compare that to what the transmit power is of the wireless access point. And then finally, interference. Again, you can have low radio frequency signal. That RF signal can easily be interfered with by other devices, electronics, and so on. So you want to watch for what is around your wireless access card. What is around your computer? What do you have running? What other devices are you running? Most of the time, people bring their own mobile devices with them. So, it could be them. It could be those devices that are interfering with your computer or your laptop, and vice versa. So always watch for the interference. And another thing, check the antenna placement. You may need to just adjust the antennas a little bit, and you may find that you'll get a better connection. So there's a little bit about low RF signal, radio frequency signal, and that's about it for this sublesson.